Is Joel Embiid requesting a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers? We're going to dive into that in today's video. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and as we have known for a while, the Knicks are keeping their eyes on Embiid. We have some betting odds on the next team for Embiid. Hint, hint, wink, wink, the New York Knicks are number one. We also have a big report coming out from Embiid via Stefan Bondy in the New York Daily News. But Embiid had an interesting remarks about his future in Philadelphia when he sat down, in an interview with Maverick Carter. This was the quote that went viral, and has everybody wondering if the big fella, the MVP, could be forcing his way out of the city of brotherly love. Quote, "I just want to win a championship. I don't know where that's going to be, whether it's in Philly or anywhere else. I just want to have a chance." And here we go for the Philadelphia 76ers and for the New York Knicks. First it was James Harden. Now it's Joel Embiid. Not an official request to ask for a trade, but I have a pretty strong feeling that if the Sixers move on or don't move on from James Harden and they fall short of reaching that goal of hoisting the Larry O.B., in the NBA Finals, could Joel Embiid want out? I truly believe that if the Sixers lose in the first or even the second round, if they don't reach the conference finals this year, Embiid is going to ask out of Philly. And as we know, the Knicks have had eyes on Embiid for quite some time. I'm talking, we did videos on this channel 12 months ago about what Bill Simmons said about Joel Embiid. We've hit every single report that has come out about Embiid to the Knicks, and it just makes too much sense. Leon Rose and Worldwide West used to represent Joel Embiid. They still have a strong relationship, and the Knicks want to make a trade for a superstar, and Embiid may be one of the few superstars in the NBA. Stefan Bondy of the New York Daily News said, quote, "Embiid has been mentioned for months around league circles as the Knicks' ideal trade candidate. Leon Rose, who served as Embiid's agent before taking over New York's front office, has accumulated a bevy of future draft picks. Although some are protected in losing value while demonstrating restraint in negotiations for stars lesser than the reigning MVP. Sorry about messing that up. But it's true. And even Vegas has taken notice of Joel Embiid and his situation in Philadelphia and how the New York Knicks are monitoring that situation. According to Bet Online, the New York Knicks are the number one team to be the next team that Joel Embiid will play for. If it's not the Philadelphia 76ers, they're plus 200. The Nets plus 250. Then you got the Mavs, Pelicans, Heat, Lakers, Jazz, and Thunder right after there. The Knicks have to make a trade at some point. They will make a trade at some point. We said it time and time again. Leon Rose, Worldwide West, they were brought here to make a trade for a superstar. And right now they have 4 potential picks in that 2024 NBA draft. And I know this much for a fact. The Knicks are not drafting 4 people in the 2024 NBA draft. They don't have spots for all 4 of those people. While some of these picks are protected and can roll over to next year, the Knicks have 2 first-round picks in 2025, 4 potential first-round picks in 2026, and 10 first-rounders in the next 7 years, with potentially 6 first-rounders in the next 2 years. The Knicks have no plans to draft 6 players in the first round over the next 2 seasons. They accumulated these picks to make trades, not to make draft picks. If you didn't know, they didn't make a pick in 2022 in the first round. They didn't make a pick in 2023 in the first round. I don't really expect them to make many picks in the upcoming draft. I expect them to trade those picks for a superstar when they do become available. Joel Embiid might be that guy. I'll ask you this question before we get to more news and info on Embiid. Should the Knicks go all in for the former MVP? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. And if we get any more news, info, rumors, any updates on the Knicks and who they may be targeting in a trade, we are going to make a video. So subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 30,000 subs as we're almost there. I will say this about Joel Embiid. 29-year-old MVPs, they don't just become available all that often. I don't even know who the last MVP was that won an MVP and got traded 12 months after winning an MVP. If you know who he is, sound off in the comment section to let me know. There's not many of these guys in the NBA. 29 years old. MVP, coming off of a 33 points per game season, 10-plus rebounds, almost 2 blocks, one of the most efficient seasons for a 33-point scorer in NBA history at 54% from the field, and he's shown the ability to knock down threes. He did it at 33% this year, 37% last year. But it's not about age. It's not about success. It's not about how good of a player Embiid is. He has a couple of things that make me a little bit worrisome, like the injuries. He's missed 16 regular season games this year, 14 the year before that, 21 the year before that, 22 the year before that, and 18 before that. But it's not just the fact that he misses games in the regular season. He also does it in the playoffs. He's missed 2 playoff games in each of the last 2 years, 5 playoff games in the last 3 years. But it's not just the injuries in the playoffs. His play does not stay at that level of an MVP. Remember, we told you, 33 points per game for Embiid in the regular season, and it's down to 23.7 in the playoffs. The field goal percentage went from 53 to 43. The three-point percentage went from 33 to 17.9. Even in 2021, the numbers weren't good in the postseason either. 24 points per game, just under 11 rebounds. That's really great, but less than 50% and less than 22% from downtown. But it's not just the durability or the lack thereof. It's not just the fact that he has subpar, it's not the right word, he produces less in the playoffs than he does the regular season. It's also the fact that the man is going to be owed a bunch of money over the next couple of seasons. $47 million next season, $50 million. The year after that, $55 million the year before after that. Then he has a player option for $58 million in 2026, and he'd be a free agent when he's 34 years old. The question you got to ask yourself is this. If you are going to go all in, the answer to this question has to be yes. Can you win a chip with Embiid and Brunson as your 1 and your 2? If you are Leon Rose, if you are Worldwide West, if you believe that you have Joel Embiid, you have Jalen Brunson, and that is good enough to win a championship, you make the move happen. You go all in, because that's what the Knicks are trying to do. They're trying to win an NBA Finals. If you can get it done with Embiid and Brunson, then you need to make the trade happen. I do think that Jalen and Joel Embiid, that being Jalen Brunson and Joel Embiid, is a better fit than James Harden and Joel Embiid. So I know some people might be saying, well, how can Joel and Jalen Brunson win a Finals if Joel Embiid and James Harden couldn't win a Finals? Well, I think Jalen Brunson's a better player. I think he's a better basketball player. I think he's more of a winner at this stage of their careers than James Harden. Could Joel Embiid be the guy that carries you for 3.5 quarters and Brunson puts you away in that final 6 minutes? I kind of lean towards yes, I think he could get done. But it always comes down to this question right here. What would it cost? What is it going to take for the New York Knicks to land Joel Embiid in a trade? It ain't going to be cheap, I'll tell you that much. I saw this trade floating around the internet, and it was a lot. Joel Embiid to the Knicks. You give up Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Immanuel Quickley, and 5 first-round picks, and 3 of those being unprotected. You may look at this and say, Marshall, no way, no how am I doing this? I have a little bit of a hesitancy as well, but I also think it's fair to say, is this even enough in the eyes of the Philadelphia 76ers? Maybe if you want to swap out Barrett for Randall, if Daryl Morey wants that, I am down to do that. But I believe it's going to be at least 3 unprotected picks, 1 of Quickley and Quentin Grimes. You're going to want Mitchell Robinson back if you're Philly, a young center on a cost-controlled deal that's not that expensive, and then either R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. I'll ask you guys this question. Would you make this trade if you were Leon Rose and sitting at the table for the New York Knicks? Would you make this deal? Type A for accept, type D for decline. I want to hear from you guys down below. As always, I just want to say thank you and appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us here on New York Knicks Now. I would hate to see Immanuel Quickley go. I would hate to trade R.J. Barrett. I would hate to trade Mitchell Robinson. But I would do that deal because I believe Jalen Brunson and Joel Embiid alongside Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and whoever I can get in a trade for Julius Randle is good enough to win a championship. Would hate to see the Young Bucks go. Would hate to see the picks go. But I would do it because I think Brunson and Embiid could bring a chip to NYC. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember, we'll be live on the channel Tuesday evening, so subscribe and turn your notifications on.